Hello everyone, this is the video lecture for College Algebra, Math 1414, Section 2.3. We're going to talk about lines, or I guess maybe slope intercepts, slope and intercepts, y-intercepts in particular. Y equals mx plus b. Maybe some of that looks familiar to you. So, first off, let me just talk about slope and what it is. Let's just say I got a line doing this. And so the slope is the rise over run. So slope is equal to rise over run. And so however much up and then however much over to one of the next points. So from one point to another. This has a positive slope. This line here would have a negative slope. This line here would have no slope. Or I guess kind of like zero slope. I don't know, constant. But like if they said, hey, find the slope, you would say zero. It's flat. And this one here, a vertical line, has an undefined slope. Undefined slope. And I'm kind of leading you towards calculus sometimes. I would say maybe like infinity slope, kinda. That's kind of the concept. Don't put that here. You would just say undefined or whatever. Okay, so those are a lot of slopes. Now we're actually going to do some math. 2, 3, 3. They give me 2 points. I got negative 3, 4, and I got 5, 5. And they say, find the slope. So there's got to be a formula for something like this. We have m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Plug them in, get an answer. 5 minus 4 divided by 5 minus a negative 3. I got 1 over 8. Done. There is nothing else to this problem. That was it. Next problem. 2, 3, 9. I got 4, 7. And then I got 4, 3. They say, find the slope. Find the slope. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Notice here that we got a negative 4 over 0. 4 minus 4 is a 0. This is undefined. So this would be a vertical line of some kind. I'm just trying to get out... I'm sorry. This also here, they want positive. Because it's positive, you would say it's rising. Apparently that's part of the question. And then on this one, because it's undefined, you would say vertical. It's the vertical line. Cool. Okay. Yeah, whatever. I'm just trying to make the point that it's not always a number. Sometimes you just got to click something else. There's a lot of numbers. I mean, I would say in this section there's a lot of repetition. I will not be doing them all because you'll be very bored. So I'm just going to be doing some of them and showing you kind of what to do. The next question says, my slope is equal to negative 7, and they give me a point here at negative 2, negative 9, and they say, find the equation of the line. Find the equation of the line. Okay, cool. So this is the formula. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And what I'm going to do is, I don't know, do math with it, simplify it down to mx plus b. That's the goal here. That's what they're wanting. So start with this formula and go to this guy right here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Y minus, this is an x1, this is a y1, so y1, negative 9, equals m is a negative 7, x minus, here's an x1, negative 2. So I want to start simplifying this thing. 2 negatives will make a positive. 2 negatives will make a positive. I guess what I could do is I could distribute that 7, that negative 7. So negative 7x minus 14. Let's minus the 9 on both sides. So negative 7x minus 23. Cool. And that would be my answer, right? In fact, they do want it with the y equals part. This is important. You need to do that as well. So this is all very important. And you type that in, and it goes, you're wrong. This is part B. This is part A. What? So the instructions for part A are, say, I'm just saying this. It says simplify. But no, not really. Then the instructions for part B says simplify for reals. This is one of those problems that a lot of people get wrong. Not because they don't know what they're doing, but because my math lab's weird. And so they want you to simplify, but not really simplify. But then over here, oh, okay, never mind. Now you can for real simplify. The main thing is that you got two negatives make a positive. Do that. Two negatives make a positive. That's your part A. And then after that, there you go. If you don't have any two negatives make a positive, just type it straight in. Okay. 2, 3, 31. So I got -5, -2. I also have a 5, 12. And they say find the slope and then go and find the rest of the stuff. So find the slope first. Well, okay, so I got m is equal to y2 minus a y1 divided by x2 minus an x1. Notice that I got two negatives make a positive 14 right there, and I got two negatives make a positive 10 right there. Simplify it down to a 7/5. Now, I got the y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Let's choose this one as x1, y1. You can choose either one, but I'm going to just stick with the basics here. So I've got... you know what? I do want to do that again, but notice I'm going to have the two negatives make a positive again, and that's fine. That's fine. You would get the same thing. I'm going to use this point. I'm just going to go out there and use this point. This one's fine. Both of them will work. So I got a 12, my 7/5. I just found that one. And then my 5. Okay, this is your answer. Notice that I don't have to do any math for part A. Well, maybe that was part A. Regardless, you don't have to do any math for this first part because there was no two negatives to make a positive. You're done. They will accept this just as much as you doing two negatives make a positive on this guy, and it's going to be fine. Either way should work, okay? Then we actually need to simplify. So distribute the 7/5, because everybody likes fractions. The 5s are actually going to cancel, leaving a 7. And so then what I got is a +5 there. And there's your answer. Again, with the y equals included. Very important there. I want to set up another one. I'm not going to actually do the whole thing. I'm just going to show you. It says x-intercept is at -3/5. It says the y-intercept is at 2. It says go and do the same thing. Okay. Well, what they're trying to get at here is x-intercept means that's an x value, but then at y equals 0. And then a y-intercept is saying that's a y value when my x is equal to 0. There's my 2 points. Find a slope. And then do your little equation-y things twice. I'm not going to do any more. Just wanted to show you. That's what this means when they got the intercepts. They mean use those 2 points and repeat. Repeat. Next one. That was a crazy 2. 2.3.39. I have y is equal to 2x plus 7. And they first off say, well, what's the slope? 2. Okay. What's the y-intercept? 7. mx plus b. Slope. Y-intercept. What does it mean to have a slope and a y-intercept? Now, I kind of briefly touched on this in the last section, but I want to do it for reals here now. Because guess what? Part C is that you need to graph it. And not just multiple choice, my math lab has a big cool tool. A cool tool where you're having to actually click, click, and draw to make it work. A y-intercept is where it's actually touching the y-axis. I often like to think of this as where I'm going to start. I'm going to start at positive 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put a dot there. So you're going to go to that tool, you'll click it, bloop, and that's good. And then when you move your mouse around, it'll like do all these weird lines all over the place and stuff. Well, you're trying to find the next coordinate. Notice that has a slope of 2. This is that rise over run stuff. I'm going to rise 2, but I'm going to go over 1. And you're thinking, why over 1? Because this is 2 over 1. 2 is equal to 2 over 1. Rise 2, run 1. Unless there's an actual fraction, just say divide by 1. And so I'm going to have that line, and then you click it, bloop, and it has that line that looks like this. You submit it, it says great job, and you're done. That's all. So the tools on the side here are kind of weird. You got to make sure you click the right buttons to make everything work. You got a line tool, you know, you got a whatevers, and there's like this coordinate point thing going on down here, giving you all kind of numbers. That's cool and all. Your two numbers, like if you're looking down here, your two numbers should be 0, 7, and then I think it's 1, 9. So if you're looking like, hey, where are these actual points? I think like down here. I think they're right here. I can't remember. Maybe they're up here. Regardless, ooh, maybe they're right there. Regardless, you're just using the tools and you're going to click it and it's very intuitive. I'm sure you'll get it. 2.3.43. Y is equal to 3/5 x minus 1. And again, they say, what's the slope? And you're going to say 3/5. They're going to say, hey, what's the y-intercept? And you're going to say -1 because it's negative. And then you're going to say, okay, now graph it. And you're going to say, okay. So I start here at -1. -1. And then my slope is 3/5. I'm going to go up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then go over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice I went up 3 over 5, up 3 over 5, and that's my second point on the graph. So it'll look something kind of like this. Click it, submit it, you're good. That's it. So +3, +5. What if I had a negative slope? Wouldn't I go down 3 and then +5? Something kind of like that at least. Hey, that's the next question. 2, 3. 2, 3, 61. 6x plus 7y minus 42 equals 0. I want to get y by itself because that's what I do. So I'm going to say, let's move these guys over to the other side. So I got 7y is equal to a -6x plus 42. Divide by the 7 on both sides. So I got -6/7 x plus 6 when you cancel those guys. This is actually something they want you to type. So cool, we could do that. And then we got a graph. Notice I'm going to start at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But now I'm going to go down 6, run 7. You can think of the bottom as always positive if you wanted to. So down 6. Thankfully, that's down 6 to right there. And then over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right there. So there's my line. That's what it looks like. So again, -6, but I'm going to say +7 to get there. You don't minus on both. It's either one or the other. This guy is negative and that guy's positive, or the other way, but only one of them ever will be negative. I have 2 more questions. 2, 3, 87. This is kind of like a word problem. Kind of, sort of. So I got a line here. I got a 2, 14. I got another point here, 10, 12, okay? And they say, find the equations to make this thing work. Now, I remember this problem being really picky. Is it this problem? There was one problem that was really picky, but we're just going to go and do it. So, regardless, let's just do the math. So, m, my slope, is equal to, let's say this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So here we go. I got 12 minus 14 divided by 10 minus 2. -2 over 8. So I got a -1/4. That's my slope. And then they want to do the line equation. So y minus y1, m, x minus x1. We could just use that one. It's easy enough. So 14, negative 1/4, x minus the 2. I believe that this is actually what they want for part A. And then we're going to, of course, simplify it some more. Distribute your 1/4. And so I got negative 1/4 x. Two negatives make a positive. 2/4 makes actually a half. And I'm going to add the 14 to both sides. Negative 1/4 x plus, and that's 14.5 essentially. But in fraction land, 29/2. So there you go. And you can convert that or check it with a calculator, basic calculator, scientific calculator, any kind of calculator. Using this formula, they have a part C now. They say years, or x is years after 1987. And they want to find the value at 2007. So I'm going from 1987 all the way to 2007. And I say, oh, you know what? X is equal to 20. So I'm going to plug that into this thing. 1/4 times 20 plus 21 or 29/2, blah, blah, blah. And round to 1 decimal place, I think. I think it doesn't really matter. 29.5. Everything's happy. Yay! I'm sorry. I said 29.5. I meant 9.5%. Okay. Don't go with what I'm saying. Go with what I'm writing. Last question, 2-3-91. So I have another graph here, and it looks kind of like this. I got a point right over here at 0,244. And then I got another point somewhere along the way at about 61, 60. Again, your numbers change, of course. And they say, find f of x. Now, I'm not going to do this problem because I'm bored. So it's the same problem that we just did. Same thing. It's a repeat. But I wanted to mention this one in particular, not just because I can, because I don't know. I skipped all the other questions, if you noticed, on your homework. I always do. Why did I mention this one in particular? Because in the fine print down here in the blue, they want you to use decimals. They want you to use decimals. And if you don't use decimals, they'll count you wrong. This is the one problem in my math lab that I've ever found where they want decimals and fractions are just no good. So, in particular, let's just say that I had used that 29/2 from the last problem. Sounds legit. No, it's not right. Use, what was it, it was a 14.5? Yeah, you got to use 14.5, otherwise this problem will be wrong. So, I'm just wanting to warn you that there's this one problem out there where you're going to have to do the decimal. Other than that, the rest of the section is actually pretty easy. So, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.